Most impactful scenes of season 3. So obviously Jaime Lannister's hand getting cut off.
That was a very good cliffhanger, yes.
Yes. Do we need to mention Red Wedding?
I think the Red Wedding obviously wins, so let's pick number 2, I think.
Yeah, and I don't even need to. I just want to list them. We don't. Not everybody's got to be a winner every time.
Yeah, Red Wedding, obviously.
Like, you don't have to win the Game of Thrones in this category. Okay.
Although, what I will say is, while I thought that the chopping off of the hand was very interesting as a scene, and it was an interesting scene, what I like about that whole thing is the aftermath and him dealing with the, I guess, the post situation of not having a hand.
Yeah, no, I understand all that, but if we were ranking them, I think it would clearly come in number 2, in my opinion.
Probably. I mean, one scene that I think might be my favorite scene from the season, other than the Red Wedding, is when Daenerys receives her unsullied army. The end of episode 4. That was just, I mean, the guy getting burned down and her becoming a leader, speaking High Valyrian.
Right. Oh, that was
pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's a good point. The last receiving her slave army was weak sauce.
Compared to it.
Yeah, but
although, let me point this out, and I didn't even realize it. Someone showed the screenshots next to each other. So you know how she's lifted up and she does the crowd surfing? I completely forgot that just a little bit earlier, Jon Snow, all injured, has to be taken in for assistance. The crowd raises him up to bring him in. I totally not even noticed it. Somebody showed me the picture.
So does that mean Jon Snow and Daenerys at some point?
I don't know what it's supposed to mean.
I got a little snow to your fire, if you know what I mean.
Well, she should look into that because he does know how to do that thing with his tongue.
Indeed.
I want to add one other scene, though, that was one of my favorite scenes. So Robb Stark is in his tent, and he's doing military strategy, and his new wife, Talisa, is just laying in bed. Watch that scene again. Pretty good scene.
Oh, yeah, I bet you got that saved up on your Tino. And I'm not sure it's because of the dialogue.
Yeah.
All right, now, more things. I thought Jaime turning into a good guy it's not particularly a scene. It's more actually the bathtub scene than the bear scene. Like
the bathtub scene is very good.
where he explains, it turns out, oh my God, the Kingslayer had saved thousands of people, right?
Yeah.
That to me was a huge part of this season.
But there are so many. There's so many good scenes.
And then one of my favorite scenes that is not as relevant to the plot, but maybe my second, third favorite scene in the whole season is, I'd already declared the hand to be number 2,
That's
so
true.
I can't. Is the conversation Littlefinger had with Varys.
Oh, the climb.
The climb. That back and forth was awesome.
That was
a huge part of why I watch Game of Thrones, not just for the action, etc., but for that great, thoughtful, treatises on power.
Yeah. I'll say one more. I very much like the very short scene between Jon Snow and Ygritte. They'd gotten over the wall, and it's when they're like flirting, and she's talking about the silk dresses, and they're so happy. Because even though some of you guys at that point were guessing that they would go on and have a happy relationship, I think most people watching that just feel the dread of knowing that they have this happiness in this horrible world, but there's no way that it can last. And now we see how that was perverted over time.
Right, and speaking of happiness, when he did that thing he does with his tongue.
Good scene, too.
That's what I'm saying. If you notice, that goes along with your Talisa scene.